What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. There has been a lot of updates this weekend to the metagame. There has been multiple tournaments, and we're gonna go over what the best decks are of the format for this upcoming week. Let's start off with Suicun Greninja. This deck has been a powerhouse overall. Just Greninja EX gives this deck what it needed. It's still a strong contender and it plays well against every single deck. You definitely have access to May, which helps your Greninja lineup, and the consistency of this deck is amazing because of May. And basically you're always drawing a card because of Suicune, and then you're playing the 20 attack Froakie. It does come up, those 10 HP extra damage comes up, so I would recommend you guys play that one. And as well, the list consists of Giratina. Giratina is really good overall, 130 damage, and it's a free charge up. Then we have Professor's Research, Mars, Idra, Cyrus, Rare Candy, Pokeball, and 2 Giant Capes. So in general, this deck is playing 2 Giant Capes. It's really good pairing with Suicune, but just in most scenarios, you could also place it on Greninja, extending its HP to 190, and that basically just becomes really annoying to deal with really fast. And you have a lot of these EX Pokemon, Mega Pokemon, that do a lot of hefty damage as well, so it's always good to have the extra HP, and Giant Cape just got so much better in this format for Suicun Greninja. The next deck I want to talk about is Torchic, Mega Blazakin, and Heatmor. So Mega Blazakin EX needed the Heatmor. Heatmor has been seeing a lot more tops with Blaziken. So let's talk about this build. Its Tongue Whip basically does 30 damage to one of the benched Pokemon. So if you notice, a lot of people are playing baby Pokemon, which consists of 30 HP. It could get a free point, and not only that, you make Cyrus so much better. So you could drag out any Swablues, opposing Torchics, anything, even a Mega Absol, something along the lines like that. Anything to disrupt your opponent as well, or prevent them from Mega Evolving. This is the best Pokemon to use for that scenario. And not only that, we are playing Cyrus, Lily, Copycat, May, Rare Candies, Pokeballs, Flame Patch, and Rocky Helmets. The Rocky Helmets are really good in this deck. Just overall, they have been seeing a lot more play in the metagame as it developed, even in the ribbon event that I've been seeing. So it's a very good card for Blaziken, because you're gonna take 20 damage plus 140 is kind of crazy. The next deck I want to talk about is Mega Altaria. Mega Altaria is super strong, but the new addition is the baby Altaria, the Nani Mega version is a Duda Wave. So that version is to deal with Oricoro. The problem is Oricoro could still be a problem for this deck, and you have to play Rocky Helmet, you got Jirachi, and this Altaria to deal with that. Especially we're playing Indeedee. Indeedee is really good to extend the life of Mega Altaria EX, and then you got Licia to search all of your Pokemon. So you could search all your Swablues and Jirachi, so you're only playing that to help the consistency, so you always have a Swablu on the board. Next you have Mars, Copycat, Pokeball, and Rocky Helmet. So you only play one Pokeball because Alicia takes the place of the second Pokeball, and overall it's just way better. Another deck that has been doing really well is Magnezone Oricoro. So with the addition of Chingling, it just makes everything so much better. Preventing your opponents from using Red Card, preventing your opponents from using Rare Candy, any item cards, Pokeballs. It can hurt them in the long run as well. So Magnezone is always a super strong Pokemon, but Copycat fixes that issue. With the inconsistencies. They used to play Sylveon, and Sylveon used to be the best thing for that, but I feel like Copycat is so much better, and it just helps this deck be a lot more consistent and fast. You do play Cyrus because you are poking a lot with Chingling, Oricoro, and even Magneton every now and then, believe it or not. You do play Pokemon Center Lady, Giant Cape, and Red Card, the 2 Giant Capes basically, so you can make your Magnezone 160, or you have to extend the life of your Oricoro as well, you know, because that bird is really annoying, and if your opponent can't find an out to that, then the game is yours. Next up, another deck that has been popular is Sigua EX, and the addition with Chingling. Again, Chingling is just way too good not to use, and then you got, you know, Rare Candies, One Erica, Copycats, Lily, Professor's Research, Pokeball, and Double Leaf Cape. Again, 170 damage, HP is really tanky and hard to beat, especially with all of this healing going on. You know, this is gonna do a lot of significant damage to your opponent and win you the game by sniping the bench. And then you play the regular Decidui to deal with Oricorios. You play 2 to deal with the Oricoro threat, and not only that, you want to see the consistency of having a Decidui on the field. So whether you're doing damage, 70 damage or 80 damage, it adds up pretty quick, and it's really good to have just out as soon as possible, because if worst case scenario, you could ignore the active Pokemon and start sniping everything they have on the bench, and then just win that way and keep healing yourself, you know, or you build up the second Decidui in the process as well. Now, arguably one of the best decks, because this one won the biggest tournament of this weekend. It is Absol and Darkrai EX. This has many variants. I've seen it ran with Tyrogue as well. This deck is really strong overall. Oricoro playing defense and attacker when paired with electric energy, and then afterwards you got Darkrai Pinks plus Mega Absol. It's kind of insane. 80 doing 100 damage, and plus you have access to red, so you could extend the Mega Absol to 120, and you know, they have to discard you get to discard one of their supporter cards as well. You get to play double Cyrus, you know, just to deal with anything they switch in with, especially you have access to Darkrai. You're pinging chip damage to their active Pokemon, which most likely they'll end up swapping out to try to handle the Oricoro. Then you got Professor's Research, Pokemon Center Lady, Copycat, 2 Pokeballs, 1 red card, 1 X speed, and 2 Giant Cape. So the theme of like this week, you know, Giant Cape is very popular, and just overall is going to be seeing a lot more play in this metagame. Like, comment, and let me know what you guys think about the brand new decks.